Hey guys, it's Christine with Indigo Wings Healing. I am finally back after a couple weeks off from doing videos. After the holidays, I just needed a break. I kept going to do videos and Spirit just kept guiding me to take a break and rest, so that's what I did. So I'm glad to be back. I am going to be doing a weekly reading for Twin Flames for the week of January 9th through the 14th. But I feel like this could be, this reading is not necessarily something that is limited to this week. I feel like this reading is really something that's going to be relevant for people at whatever time it is that they happen to be watching it. So if you happen to be watching this 6 months from now, it is relevant for you 6 months from now. So before I get started, if you're not familiar with this type of reading, the left side is the feminine energy, the right side is the masculine energy. I am an intuitive healer. I am a channeler. I read tarot cards. Just to give you a little bit of background on myself. I'm really excited to share this week's reading with you. In fact, before I started recording, I took a picture of the spread and sent it to a reader friend of mine because I was so surprised at how the reading came out, and I'll talk to you about it more as I get started. I feel like the beginning of January in 2017 has been a little heavy. I've been seeing a lot and hearing a lot from feminine twins that they are just fed up. They are done. They are they're ready to move on. You know, it's not a sense of surrender in a good way. It is, they are just frustrated. And I think a lot of that is, you know, there's just been a lot of heavy energy. There's been that last push for releasing and looking within to see what you still need to heal. And I think a lot of feminine are picking up on the things that the masculine are going through. There's a lot of awakening and a lot of things that are going on with the masculine twins, and a lot of changes that are taking place for them. And some of them are ready for the changes. Some of them are still resisting, and those who are resisting, they're going to have a tougher time with the transitions because the universe is moving ahead, and it's moving ahead whether they want it to or not. So, you know, as hard as it is for the feminine twins who are feeling frustrated, what I'm hearing and seeing a lot of is that the masculine twins do need some compassion right now. The good news is that we are heading out of Mercury retrograde. So for those who feel like they are negatively affected by that, we don't have to worry about that for a while. We are heading into a period of a few weeks where all of the planets are direct, which has not happened since 2011. And I feel like the next few weeks is going to bring a much lighter energy to all of us. I think we're all going to be feeling like we're in a place where we can really get moving with our goals for the new year. So with that, I'm going to start with the feminine side. And the first card that came up for the feminine was the solar plexus chakra. And what I'm getting with this card is that it's all about, for the feminine energies, being in your power. If you're not in your power, you need to get back in your power. I know for a lot of you feminine, you have been going through stuff. Most of you, I would say, you've been going through some stuff related to your masculine twin that has really made you feel knocked down. It's really shaken your confidence or your self-esteem, and you need to work on this. Because you're not going to be able to do the work you want to do. You're not going to be able to be in the place that's the best place for you to come into union with your twin if you are not in your own power, if you are lacking confidence in yourself. So this is a place that you really need to do some work on your solar plexus chakra. And I really feel like a way that the feminine are going to be able to claim their power back and start to feel better about themselves is, for those of you who know what your mission is, focus on that mission work. I think that's going to make you feel a lot better about things and about yourself. If you don't know what your mission is, try to focus on the things that make you feel confident and make you feel good. I feel like there's going to be some opportunities that are coming up for the feminine to step into a place of power, and where you can work on your confidence and your self-esteem. Remember with this card, it's an I can, fire, passion, and this card is a 3. What is interesting is that right across here is also a 3. And I want to talk about the 3 for a minute because the number 3 is all over this reading. It came up 3 times for the original cards that I pulled, but then it came up multiple times for the clarifier cards. And 3 is a number of cooperation, of harmony, of teamwork. But the thing that really stands out to me about the number 3 is the word connection. And, I was talking with a friend earlier today about twin flames, and this person reminded me that the connection is always there. And I mean, I know that, but, sometimes the most simple concept, the thing that, you should know, it's something that's easy to slip your mind. And 3 is all over this reading, and I feel like the reminder is that it's all about connection, and the connection with your twin is always there. So feminine, you're frustrated, you feel like this is just, you just want to give up. Some of you have moved on already or trying to move on. Some of you are contemplating it. But you are connected, and you feel that, that that's there. And I just feel like that's a really important piece of this reading that I need. I'm just feeling so strongly that I need to, I almost can't put it into words how strongly it feels to me to emphasize how important your connection is and how real your connection is. Because like I said, the threes are all over this, and I'll be pointing them out as they're coming up. But yeah, I mean, I'm almost at a loss for words at how much Spirit wants me to emphasize that you are always connected. So reach out is the card that came up for the masculine. And I pulled a clarifier with this, which is the Knight of Water, which is a card of emotion. Now, this is a card of balancing emotions. The Knight can be very charming, sweep us off our feet, but they can also be a little flighty. They can also, as quick as they sweep us off their feet, they can be gone in an instant, which, I think some of us may feel that way about our twins. They're here one minute, gone the next. But I feel that in terms of this reach out card, it's just a confirmation that the masculine is, they're looking over at the feminine. They're thinking of their twin. If they are not reaching out this week, they're thinking about it. For those of you who have not heard from your twin over the last 3 weeks, it does not surprise me. With how dense the energy's been with Mercury retrograde. Some of you may hear from your twin this week if you've been in separation, or if the contact has not been happening or it's been very slim. They may reach out to you this week, especially with Mercury going direct. If you don't hear from them, it's not for lack of them wanting to reach out. That is definitely on their heart. So just know that that's the place where they are. They're just, they've got stuff going on, and I can, I can literally feel it in my heart center that they have so much confusion, and they just don't know what's going on. But they do. They want to reach out, and they are thinking of you. So I love that, both at the beginning of this start out with threes. So then going back up to the feminine, we get balance, which is a 14, breaks down to a 5, which is, to me, this is a number of transformation and change. To me, I'm even thinking, spiritual transformation. Things are definitely changing. And the clarifier that I pulled for this card is the Empress, a 3. And so, I always love when I see this card come up in my twin readings, because balance is so key whenever you're talking about the masculine or the feminine, and we really want to see a balance of the energies. And the feminine really has not been in a place of balance, and typically one of the areas that she's not balanced is she tends to give, and she's not always receiving back what she's giving. With the Empress card, there's a couple messages that I'm getting with that of how the feminine is coming into balance. I'm getting that whatever mission work she's doing down here, or whatever work that is bringing up her self-esteem and her confidence, that's continuing, and it's bringing her into balance with herself. But also, this card is about nurturing yourself, and about self-care, and and about loving yourself. And that's something that the feminine's really been denying herself for a long time, is that self-love. And she is finally getting into a place where she knows how valuable she is and how much she deserves to be treated like a queen. And if she's not getting that externally, she knows she doesn't need it externally. She's going to treat herself that way. And so that's what this is all about, which makes me really happy to see the feminine coming into that place. So over here on the masculine side, you have another 5, which I just am so blown away that you've got a 3 on each, the feminine and the masculine side, and then you've got 5s. So for the masculine, it's just a confirmation of what I was talking about before. Challenging times. They do not have it easy right now. There have been a lot of changes coming up for them in the last, for some for the last few months, but for a lot of the masculine, just in the last few weeks. And for the clarifier, I pulled the 10 of Earth, which this card is all about family life and financial security. And so it's telling me that for a lot of the masculine, there are a lot of changes that are shaking things up for them around family life for some, and for others it's financial issues. For some it could be both. There are some masculine that, they're really they're getting hit with a total transformation, which that 5, transformation, change. And 5 also can sometimes indicate resistance, which there are some masculine twins that I do feel, and I touched on it when I opened up the video, that are resisting the changes that are coming to them. And they can resist it all they want. The universe has the plans that it has. Things are happening the way they're going to happen. So the more they resist, I think the more difficulties they're going to have. But this is just, the masculine's not having an easy time right now. So feminine, don't assume that the silence from your twin is them off having a grand old time forgetting about you. That's not what it is. It really has to do a lot more with the difficulties that are going on in their own life. They're trying to figure things out for themselves. So back over to the feminine, we have the Move card, which this is all about, to me it's saying feminine's moving forward, not moving forward in a sense of moving on without her twin, which I know that many of the feminine who are watching this video right now, that's how you're feeling. You want to move on, not in a good way. This card to me, it's a 7. To me, 7 is about soul connection, inner awareness, being on the right path. And this always represents, this is kind of representative of union for me. But to me, this is all about the feminine coming into union with herself, which that is essential. We need to be at one with ourselves before we can consider coming into union with our twin. The same friend that I was talking to earlier today also said to me, 2 halves do not make a whole. If you are not whole, you're not going to be able to fully be there for your twin and to be coming into union with your twin. And again, that's something that in the back of my head, yes, I know that. But sometimes you need to be reminded of these things. And so for many of the feminine twins, I feel like you're coming into this place for yourselves where you realize that you don't need to have love externally coming to you, that you are all you need. You're showing yourself the self-love and the self-care. You feel good about yourself. You have self-confidence. You are fulfilling yourself. And that is just a good place to be. So over on the masculine side, we have a 7. Like, I just cannot, like, it blows my mind how we keep getting the same numbers on each, the masculine and the feminine side. And again, the same friend that I was talking to, and I sent the picture of this spread, he gave me this word. The reading, it's so balanced. And so even though some of you may be disappointed because, you know, I'm not telling you you're going to be in union right now, or, you know, the masculine's not going to be calling you to say, I'm sorry, and things may not be moving as quickly as you want them to move. There's so much balance and harmony in this reading. That piece just cannot be ignored to me. So for the masculine, we've got daydreams and decisions. And, you know, this card, you've got the woman holding her hands and a heart right at her heart center. And, you know, this is about, the person is they think that they're unsure of what they want. They're not really sure. But when they really think about it, they know what they want. They know. It's what they daydream about. It's what they think about. It's where their mind goes. What it is, though, is that they've got decisions to make those daydreams a reality. And it's, how do they figure out, how do they make those decisions? And that's the next step for the masculine, is figuring out, is this what I really want, and how do I make it happen? And that's something that really is bogging some of them down. They just can't see how any of this is going to work. The feminine has an easier time with this because they trust in the connection so much more. And the masculine, they're just not there yet. They're still waking. Many of them are still waking up. And the clarifier card that I pulled is the 3 of Fire, another 3. And this card is about having patience and making long-term plans. And I feel like this goes really nicely with this Daydreams and Decisions card, because, even though they're having a hard time figuring out, how can I make these things happen? I feel like this is a positive indicator that it can happen. If you put your mind to it, you can make this happen. This can work out for you. So the crowning energy for this is sadness and isolation, and another 3. And the 3 is standing out to me in terms of the twin flame connection. Because I feel like the twins are having to go through this process of having to go through the separation and having the time apart and being alone, going through the sadness so that they can surrender, so they can go with the flow, and they can just trust in the connection. You know, with this person here, even though it sounds like a sad card, sadness and isolation, this person who is by themselves, they are surrounded by light, they are surrendering, they're peaceful. And with this card being a 3, it just makes me feel like this is the place that you want to be in so that you can improve on that connection with your twin, so you can come into union with your twin. And the clarifier that I pulled for this is the Queen of Fire, which it's about creativity and stretch your wings and fly, which I love that this card, it literally says stretch your wing and fly. And that reminds me so much of what the person here is doing. You went through almost like the dark night of the soul to come out, and now you are just ready to go. I think this is really beautiful with the balance and everything that I've been talking about so far. So the root energy, I got win or lose, which is a 5. So there's another 5, because we had the 5 of the balance and the challenging times. And I pulled up a few clarifiers for this. And I'm not going to go into them because it's 3 cards. You guys don't need to hear all about it. But basically, it's both the masculine and the feminine are looking at this like there's going to be a winner or a loser, no matter what, someone's going to get hurt, or, someone's going to make out good, someone's going to make out bad. They're just putting too much stock on it being this way. This win or lose, there's no winners or losers when it comes to love. There's just love. So this card, to me, it's almost representing that they're both placing too much on fears around outcome, external fears around outcome, how things are going to affect other people, how other people are going to affect them, and it's all an illusion. Almost like they're this is where the lack of self-confidence is coming out, being afraid to take action. It's like almost like they think that they're stuck between a rock and a hard place with this, and you're not. It's an illusion. And again, this is a card of, it's a 5, transformation. Things are changing. Don't be afraid of that. One of the cards that did come up is the Dreamer. Take the leap of faith and follow your dreams. So the masculine and the feminine, you need to get away from thinking that there's a winner or a loser in this. There's just love. So with the feminine energy, there were 2 cards that came up. And actually, before I get into that, the masculine got the confront card. It's 18, breaks down to a 9. The first card that came up for the feminine is the rest and reconsider, and that's a 9. How crazy is that? Every single card that was specifically for the feminine or the masculine was the same number. This reading is so balanced. And again, that goes back to the 3s that I was talking about. There are so many 3s in this reading. The harmony, the connection, like I'm getting chills. So back to the feminine. There were 2 cards that came up, that came out for the feminine. And I feel like it's directly related to the confidence issues that the feminine is having, and also the balance, her need for balance. It's rest and reconsider and dedicated effort. And I feel like there is, and the feminine is having a hard time deciding, like, what do I do? What do I do? Do I reach out? Do I not reach out? Do I leave him alone? Do I not leave him alone? Oh, I don't want anything to do with this. I'm just not going to deal with this. And you're bouncing back and forth between, knowing that you want to make the dedicated effort, at the same time knowing that you need a break. And so you really got this going on underneath everything. And no wonder you're frustrated, and no wonder you feel that lack of confidence, because you're driving yourself crazy. So that's why this balance is going to be so good, because you're going to let go of some of this. You're not going to worry about this so much. You're going to rest when you feel like you need to rest. You're going to put the effort in when you feel like you want to put the effort in, and you're not going to worry about it. I pulled up a clarifier for these cards, and at the end of this, so it's a 19, which breaks down to a 9 and a 1, to 10, which is a 1 for new beginnings. And it's about, a happy outcome, having confidence in yourself. And that's just what I, again, working on having confidence in yourself, balance. This just kind of reiterates that we're on the right path with that. That everything that you're going to be doing is going to be leading you to having the confidence that you need, and that you're on the path to success. So with the masculine, everything that's the underlying energy with the masculine is the confront card. And it's no wonder that this came up. The masculine, I feel for you. You're just not in a great place. And the clarifiers that I pulled up, they were all air cards. 9 of air, king of air, 3 of air. There's that 3 again. And the air cards to me represent that the masculine is really in their head right now. And the fear, because to me, I feel like the masculine is dealing with having to confront some more fears, their shadow self. And what I'm really getting with these cards is, he's trying to balance his emotions. And right now, the masculine is feeling like they really messed up. They messed up. And they are sad because right now they are expecting the worst. They are not in a place where they, the underlying thoughts that they're having, they're expecting the worst. Up at night, not sleeping well, because they just don't know how they can be forgiven. Whatever it is that they did to the feminine, they don't know how they can ever be taken back. They don't feel like they deserve to be taken back. You know, and they need to give themselves time to heal. And they need to, more than anything, they need to forgive themselves. You know, I would say for the most part, we all know that the feminine is going to forgive. There's that unconditional love, and again, their connection. But not all the masculine are completely awoken to that connection the same way that the feminine are. So there's a real fear going on with many of the masculine twins that they're not going to get those daydreams. They're not going to, you know, that they're going to reach out and they're going to be rejected. And so they really, you know, some of you may not hear from a twin because they're afraid you may not want to hear from them. So there's definitely a lot of challenges going on with the masculine right now. And, you know, so again, I know I said it already, but they could definitely use compassion right now. So I picked one last card, just an oracle card, just as a general overview. Oh, and before I do that, I just wanted to show the card that was on the bottom of the deck when I was done shuffling this, and the card was trust. And I think that that overall, that is a really important thing for us all to remember, is that we just need to take that leap of faith and trust that everything is going to work out, that we are on the right path, and you know, that we surrender, and everything is going to work out. So the last card that I picked is from a newer deck that I have, and I'm really loving the cards. They're beautiful, and the deck is the Crystal Mandala Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. And the card that I picked is the Crossroad of Destiny. These cards are gorgeous. And I'm not going to read the entire card because it is very long. But I'm going to read the beginning italicized message because that's kind of the most important part. We bring you the empowerment of the Crossroad of Destiny. You are at a pivotal point on your life journey. This may be obvious to you with a potentially life-changing decision before you, or you may not realize the impact that an apparently insignificant choice is going to have on your future. Either way, you are at a point where you can leave the past behind and chart your course for a new adventurous chapter to begin in your life. This is not something you need to be frightened of. It is a sign you are progressing on your path. The Crossroad of Destiny happens when you have mastered a cycle in your life and a new cycle is before you. It is an opportunity that you can take best advantage of by listening to your heart. So I feel like that kind of sums up this entire reading really beautifully, that that especially for the masculine, they are coming to this crossroads. If they're not already there, they are coming to it, and there are some decisions that are going to need to be made. And you know, feminine, focus on working on your self-esteem and being in your power. Work on your confidence, not only to try to be with your twin, but for you, because that's really going to be the best medicine for you, for feeling better and to be able to do the work that you are here to do. So I hope this reading wasn't too long. I'm thinking I went longer than I meant to, but there was so much that wanted to come out about the cards that I drew today. So if you are, if you liked what you heard and you are interested in having a private reading with me, all of the information about the readings and healings that I offer, it's available on my website at indigowings.healing.com. You can also find me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/indigowingshealing. I also have a twin flame group. It is Indigo Wings Soul Connections. You can find us there and chat with us. Let's see. That's about all I have for connections. I do have an Instagram that you could also follow me. That information is on my website as well. If you like the video, click the like button and hit subscribe so that you can be notified as soon as my videos are posted. I hope that this was helpful for those of you who see it, and I hope those of you who need to see it at the right time. And that's it. I will be back next week with next week's message. Have a great week.